That you're looking at his closest rival, if he gets away, could be his teammate.
Predict what he's going to do, but he's a real unknown who sits on the grid the strongest.
Very, very difficult unless someone makes a mistake. Just looking as they line up here, Cal Crutchler's got a great chance. The home boy.
8 starting places. Been a while since we've been able to say anything like that. This man's first pole position since Texas. Best ever MotoGP qualifying, his 3rd successive front row, Danilo Petrucci in the middle, and alongside him Danny Put 17. We'll find out in 30 laps as 68 miles get underway for honours here in Germany. Across the front, sweeping over his teammate, his moves up to 3rd. Soft tyres have worked already. Oh, down the grass, that's not good. Folger looked to me like he was heading for the grass at that point.
Shoulder charge with Sunbox. Rossi up to 6th already.
That's not bad, is it? Already, you're right there. Keep an eye on Maverick Vinales, starting from the middle of the 4th row. 2nd time he qualified 11th this year so far.
Vinales has not made a place up from his 11th on the grid yet.
Look at the tyre degradation, the debris all off the line as it is at the moment. That's Maverick Vinales. That's going to give Petrucci the grunt up the hill on the Ducati, you can be sure of that. But at the line, 29 laps to go we have, folks, and it is Marquez. Pedro, that man is quite tough. He ran it out wide, though.
And Rossi ducked to the inside immediately, didn't need a second invite. Elacious.
The German Grand Prix. There was noise restrictions here, they couldn't test. So Moto 3, Moto 2 and MotoGP, they brought 4 options for the front. They brought them. Modern day team with an old 1980s ethos, it feels like to me.
I would buy that immediately. Wonderful, proper motorcycle.
For the rookie man, remember, he's never ridden that MotoGP bike round here before. He's right on it.
Dovizioso has moved
Grand Prix, but of course only 8 of them in MotoGP. He's still only 23 years old, and he's easing away. The man from Waldorf in Germany.
Rossi.
Tino has done Lorenzo.
So that's 5th place for Valentino.
But it's all about who's going to be the leading Yamaha. Only 23 years old, the German. Yep. You've got to remember that. Folger is... Oh, that's wide.
There you go.
He ran it out a little wide at turn 1 and let Marc Marquez through. That's a replay of how he ran wide.
As you say, Keith, that was a self-inflicted wound.
At turn 1, but he actually did it dead wrong. 7, that's Folger and Marquez last time round.
Here comes Maverick.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to have a bit of...
The factory Yamahas had no problem in the dry. Their problem was wheel spin in the wet.
So that puts Rossi in 4th place. This is the battle for 4th place. Dovi that's there from Elacious Spargo, and of course Danilo Petrucci. Dovizioso by 3 points. If Vinales, though, drops to the back of the bunch. Whereas he swapped places, actually. Marquez has anything else, probably including a championship. No, maybe not.
Yeah, but it's the sort of thing that will stay.
We're destroying themselves through these left-handers.
Folger's
7 left-handers.
Not shy, is he?
7 left-handers. And you thought he was? Sam Lowe's has had a bit of a tricky weekend again. His teammate cuts to the inside of it for Dovizioso. Dovizioso turns 7 for Sam. That's a quick old corner. You want to go, that's a 4th gear corner.
And Vinales is up to the back of that fight.
Yes, well, Lorenzo has slipped behind them. Crutchlow is down in 11th place. Iannone on the Suzuki is 12th. Pol Espargaro on the KTM 3rd.
Both Lorenzo and Crutchlow last time.
Here's your tyres. So, guy that you would say normally has got it pretty well calculated. Petrucci gets taken across by a 3rd place man. Look how far behind he is now. Place, and there is Bautista on Petrucci. Petrucci, what's he running out of?
Bautista, who is going to be in trouble. Bautista is going to be on him shortly.
Meanwhile,
Vinales is close
to it as a go-kart track, slightly unfair, but it is tight, twisty, 2.2 mile, and those 7 left-handers are a nightmare. Here is Vinales now.
Fastest man out there is Vinales.
There goes Maverick Vinales then has closed down Rossi in front, in Assen, but and that might make it a little easier for Maverick Vinales. He's going to want to whip past Valentino Rossi as well as quick as he can. But powering through the last of those left-handers. I mean, how quick did Valentino get out onto the straight there?
Yeah.
And he's going to make the putt. He got great grip. He's not there yet because he's got him on the outside now.
Dovi toughs it out.
Yeah, but how quick was that Yamaha out of turn 13
really
onto the front straight?
Yes.
Who's playing with who, I wonder here?
Think Moto 2.
Indeed. Valentino Rossi. What about Valentino Rossi? Still aiming for that 10th world title. Doesn't get any easier the higher the numbers.
Rossi will come back at him, you know he will. They come through 13. Rossi, I'm sure will try and get that back in. Rossi no way through, and Bautista is right there with them now.
He's had really good rhythm over the last 5 or 6 laps, Alba.
Second place.
Folger's gone in hot again at the first corner. That's why he lost that half a second. That's why Marquez was...
His MotoGP debut season. Poor old Danny Pedrosa. Concentrate, don't think about anything else but the race.
Marquez and Folger ahead of him. Danny Pedrosa is just about 3 or 4 tenths of a second a lap slower, but that's all it takes of his teammate Marc Marquez.
I reckon he's going to make a mistake again at turn 1.
But if Bautista can pick off the likes of Dovizioso and Rossi, that's taking more crucial points away from Marquez's championship rivals. Bautista looking so many.
I think by MotoGP rookie Zarco, of course, was second, wasn't it, at his home Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff from
Petrucci running in below 123s. All of a sudden, he's a full second off of the best pace, trying to keep himself in that podium. Really suffering. He's just ran out of grip. He chewed up those tyres, trying to stay in podium contention very early on.
Keep a lookout for now. Turn 1, back to the battle for 4. Vinales, Rossi, Dovizioso, Bautista.
He's gone through. Has he made it stick? Yes, he has. So Bautista then now up into 6th place. Rossi's got the hammer 22.091 as he tries to find a way back through on his teammate Maverick.
They start to climb. And this is where Folger made an amazing move on Jorge Lorenzo early in the race and didn't take over second.
Brilliant stuff by Folger. Marquez just can't quite break him at the moment. Look at that, Marquez. Dovizioso dropping back behind Bautista means that he drops to 3rd in the championship, but only 5 points behind.
That it would be the 3rd new championship leader in 3 races. Though, I can assure you, there is Pedrosa through turn 1. Vinales, Rossi,
Finder on the factory KTM.
There is a later Spargo on the Aprilia. Vinales, I think Rossi knows how important this is going into the break. But I mean, 10 points. Sorry, from Andre Iannone.
Yeah, Lorenzo gambled with that soft rear tyre. It hasn't paid off at all.
It was Iannone and Lorenzo. Lorenzo was on the Yamaha, and of course Iannone was on the Ducati.
The brakes at the first corner.
Important points at stake here now for Andre. It's a damage limitation. This is the helicopter shot of Marquez and Folger. There is 3.5.
Got to say, the mistakes at the front of this race have been made by Folger. Marc Marquez has ridden an absolutely picture-perfect race. Marquez just can't break the shackles.
No, it's his last 2 sectors where he is so strong. We're rolling Marquez up towards turf inning for turn 1. Where is Folger?
This has been brilliant by Marquez and Folger. On the last lap around, they were down in the 121.7s. Able to live with the rhythm of Marquez and Folger, but is Marquez just making a crucial break?
Yeah, I think he's broken him, Matt, with 3/4 laps to go. Perhaps Folger's just felt a few problems. Is it at turn 1 once again where he...
That's the 3rd time we've seen him. That's just from pressure, from trying to stay with Marc Marquez. Credit to Marquez. Folger settled for 2nd place.
Just settled down a little bit as well. He doesn't want to throw a podium position away. Here he is. Does he?
No,
at the ride of his life.
Marquez with 2 laps to go on a circuit where he's won for the previous 7 years. Marquez on the last time. That is why Folger made the mistake, because he was being put under the fiercest pressure by Marquez. What a time to... an 8th wonder here for Marquez, potentially.
There's Cal Crutchlow fighting it out with Zarco.
He took the lead from Jonas Folger. A couple of mistakes helped his cause, but he has been to keep Marquez honest for the majority of this race, but he's just run out of grip and pace at the end.
New leader in the World Championship. First time this season that Marc Marquez will lead. 1 lap to go for the king of the Saxon ring to make it 8 in a row.
Dovizioso run out of grip. I think Dovizioso's got to be careful because he might be hunted down by Johan Zarco on this final lap.
Leaving his last bit of rubber on the Saxon ring before he goes on his summer break. We ride with Zarco. World Championship. And he ran it all the way through turn 11 for the last time for Marquez.
Yeah, it's been a great 8 for Marquez. They'll be delighted to see Jonas Folger take a career first podium finish, but Marquez has been absolutely untouchable.
The new leader of the 2017 World Championship, the world champion Marc Marquez.
Career first finish for Jonas Folger, to the delight. Nearly 80,000 fans here at the Saxon ring. Danny Pedrosa comes over the line. in a very lonely. The better of Valentino Rossi for 4th place. Rossi takes 5th ahead of Álvaro Bautista, who had a second half charge. Joy and jubilation in the Tech 3 Yamaha garage.